Video games, the one of the most expanding sector of this decade. Every time new game pops out, the whole country goes crazy and tries to get it on the release date or even sometimes before by pre-orders. Well, that's the beauty of video games, huh? Can't deny that. Well, it's no longer a secret that video game sector has bloomed over these years as well as the games. What do you expect from our evolving generation? Well, so did the overall gaming companies who develop the user activity and real life experiences into a real time battlefield, which is really cool and awesome. Sitting in front of our gigs, we can really feel what a AWM rifle feels like or what wonders can a M249 do. Well, gamers will get this. So let's take a look at all those heart-throbbing games which had blown our minds away and how did really it took to get them made. At number 10 comes Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. Hideo Kojima's final entry into his fabled Metal Gear Solid series polarized fans with its open-world gameplay and odd story twist. Sadly, the title was left in an unfinished state due to the creator's forced exit from Konami. Even in its incomplete form, the cost of producing the action game came out to be about $80 million. Creating the two massive play areas and a system of ever-growing mother base couldn't have been cheap, and that says nothing of the expertly crafted cinematics. As sad as it was to see the series end on the whimper, fans are currently knee-deep in Hideo Kojima's new game, Death Stranding. At number 9 comes The Witcher 3. The Witcher series has been one of the most successful games from CD Projekt. Witcher 3 took a production cost of about $81 million. CD Projekt grew exponentially in the time between the first Witcher and the trilogy's landmark open world conclusion. Every game they produce is their biggest project yet, requiring more funds and a larger development team. The Witcher 3 took a production cost of $45 million and then an additional $35 million went into marketing. So a total of 81 million approx. At number 8 comes Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption, which is produced by Rockstar Games, which came up to the world's finest open world experiences till date. When compared with the previous open world title on the Rage engine, Grand Theft Auto 4, one can easily see the graphical improvement and refinement to sheer gameplay mechanics like shooting. At number 7 comes Deadpool. Everybody is head over heels about the wisecracking mercenary these days, but in 2013 his fandom was mostly comic readers. If anything, his reputation was tarnished by the lackluster interpretation from X-Men Origin Wolverine. Because of his niche appeal back then, it will surprise many to learn of the $100 million budget of 2013's Deadpool. Unfortunately, the money did not result in a particularly well-received game. Critics were mostly dismissive of the lackluster combat and juvenile humor. Even worse, the game is no longer available on the digital market. Well, sorry Deadpool. At number 6 comes APB, All Points Bulletin. Well, MMO games are not easily made, nor they are sure to make a return on their investment. Reports reveal a massive $100 million price tag for APB, which had a rough start in the market. Reviews were unkind and the server shut down only after a few months of its initial launch. Eventually, however, the game came back into action and has improved greatly, though it's not anywhere near the heights of another popular MMO. At number 5, it's Red Dead Redemption 2. Released in 2018, Red Dead Redemption was Rockstar Games' most recent creation and is not only one of the best looking open world games but also the most beautiful titles of the whole generation. Making something so grand and so gorgeous doesn't come cheap. However, while the studio hasn't released an exact number, estimates have come at $100 million to produce this magnificent opus. The game's development began soon after Red Dead Redemption's release and was shared between all of the Rockstar Studios worldwide. The development team drew influence from real life locations as opposed to the film or art focused on creating an accurate reflection of the time with the game's character and world. The game was Rockstar's first built specifically for 8th generation consoles, having tested their technical capabilities while porting GTA 5 to the platform. The game's soundtrack features an original score composed by Woody Jackson and several vocal tracks produced by Daniel Lanois. At number 4, it's Max Payne 3. Unlike other games coming from the publisher, Max Payne 3 is a tight linear game constantly pushing the player to the story's 14 varied chapters. Despite its smaller scale, meticulously crafting these areas during game at a reduced development cost. At the end of the day, estimate for the production came at an about $105 million. To capture the game's Brazil setting, the Rockstar went to the country, did extensive research, and used local talent for many of the roles. The high cost was worth it in the end. However, since Max Payne 3 is easily one of the best shooters of the last 10 years. At number 3, it's Destiny with $140 million. Bungie's first project after exiting the Halo franchise is an ambitious MMO-like shooter. People freaked out upon a miscommunication, making it seem like the game cost $500 million to make. But later, Activision clarified the number was an investment into the engine, data titles, and marketing. Still, the actual price for the first entry was well above the average AAA title. $140 million went into getting the first title off the ground. One wonders how Activision feels about the money they spent on Destiny, now that Bungie is independent. At number 2, Star Wars The Old Republic with $200 million. This game's announcement wasn't exactly the night of Old Republic 3 people were hoping for, but it sufficed for enough Star Wars fans. This MMO has a massive $200 million budget, but at least it had a bankable name. Initial reception was positive as well, and the switch to a free-to-play model opened the doors for more fans to join in. Though a subscription is still available, Star Wars has been in rocky water with video games for the past several years, but at least MMO fans had a steady source of content to enjoy. The game had 1 million subscribers within 3 days of its launch, making it the world's fastest growing MMO ever. However, in the following months of the game lost a fair share of its subscription, but has remained profitable. The game has since adopted the hybrid free-to-play business model with remaining subscription option. The game was met with positive reception upon release and has received several updates and expansion packs. Several books and comics based on the game have been released. It's estimated the game made about $135 million additional revenue on top of the subscription income in 2013. In an earnings call to investors in October 2019, Electronic Arts announced that Star Wars The Old Republic was closing in on $1 billion in lifetime revenue, making it a huge financial success based on the reported $200 million budget. And at number 1, our winner, Grand Theft Auto GTA 5 with $265 million. It's only right for one of the most popular video games ever released to also be one of the most expensive. Production alone costs around $135 million. With marketing, the total price comes out to be over $200 million. When playing, it's really easy to see why it costs so much. The huge world always feels alive, and over 60 missions are booked by the compelling cinematics. Then there is GTA Online, which is a whole other beast. 6 years since its launch, and it consistently topped monthly sales chart. Seems like money spent well. The game's development began soon after GTA 4's release and was shared between many of the Rockstar studios worldwide. The development team drew influence from their previous projects such as Red Dead Redemption and Max Payne 3 and designed the game around 3 lead protagonists to innovate on the core structure of its predecessors. Much of the development work constituted the open world's creation, and several team members conducted field research around California to capture footage for the team design. The game's soundtrack features an original score composed by the team of producers who collaborated over years. It was released in September 2013 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and in April 2015 for Microsoft Windows. Thank you guys for watching my video, and if you liked it, please like and share it, and also subscribe to my channel Immersion Gamer.